Good morning, Cardano Army. It's your boy Boomin coming at you with yet another video, guys. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell so you never miss a Boomin update. We got these updates daily. You don't want to miss them. I got my hot tea and honey, locked and loaded, ready to go. Let's get this show started, guys. And today we're talking about Cardano. Got some news from JPEG.store, one of the biggest Cardano NFT platforms on ADA. Let's take a look. So you can buy NFTs with a credit card on the JPEG store, powered by Winter NFTs. Not sponsored, by the way. Just give you guys the info here. We're currently testing a feature where you'll be able to buy NFTs directly with your card. This feature is coming store-wide soon. No ADA required, just a wallet and a card, and you're good to go. This is pretty cool, guys. So people who want to get into NFTs, but they don't have the crypto, they don't have the ADA, they just have a credit card, can now purchase. So this is awesome, guys. So we're testing on the Clay Nation page. We'll go ahead and show that here in a minute. We'll be gradually rolling out to more collections across the next week. Let's take a look at how this works. Not a paid direct endorsement by Claymates. All right. There's Claymates, one of the most popular NFT collections on the Cardano blockchain. Floor is 3,333 ADA. So, you know, pretty penny for a NFT here. So here's the Clay Nation collection here. I'm sure you guys all know what Claymates are. I'm sure you all know who they are. You know, if you don't know, I believe they were created in conjunction with Snoop Dogg and his son. So obviously I don't have to tell you that you know, they're pretty popular. So shout out to JPEG.store. This is just the Claymates collection, but they have tons of collections. I am going to be honest, guys, I have not been keeping up with Cardano NFTs. There's just so many darn NFT projects out there. It is hard to keep up with all of them. It's just ridiculous. But a couple weeks ago, I want to say maybe like a month ago, there was a slight bull run in Cardano NFTs. There was a slight bull run in Cardano NFTs. So some of these NFTs are definitely booming. So here's JPEG.store. I mean, these are really good artworks. I like them a lot. AI waifus. Let's take a look at this. Yes, indeed. You know, starting a NFT project with some AI art would not be a bad thing. All right, guys, let's move on. Thank you to OneCom, ticker symbol 1COMM. I need to take a sip of tea real quick. Tasty. Guys, delegate your ADA to OneCom. It's imperative you do so. To support the small stake pool operators on Cardano is a support for the decentralization of Cardano. What good would Cardano be if all the stake pools were created by Binance or Coinbase or something like that? It would not be decentralized. So please find a small stake pool operator. I prefer OneCom, and support them. 0% fees until at least the end of June 2023 for all existing and new delegators, guys. OneCom is the way. Let's go ahead and move on, guys. Now this is interesting. Shout out to IOHK. We have University of Edinburgh and IOHK introduce the Edinburgh Decentralization Index. Now, this is important because, again, we were just talking about decentralization. And decentralization is extremely important for cryptos because, you know, we want it to be so that it can't be shut down by any entity. It is censorship resistant, censorship proof. Now, let's take a look. Networks are often structured as centralized, distributed, or decentralized. A decentralized network security increases as the number of participants increases. The same outcome cannot be achieved on centralized or distributed networks. With most blockchains claiming to be decentralized, it's hard to determine each claim's validity. Any assertion of the decentralization remains highly subjective. Can a blockchain be truly decentralized if a minority of its validators is responsible for mining or minting a majority of blocks? What qualifies as decentralization? What qualifies as a standard of decentralization that can be deemed objective? This is where the Edinburgh Decentralization Index comes into play, an initiative that aims to play a pivotal role in determining a blockchain's true decentralization. This article explains the EDI's importance, design, significance in the blockchain space. Why the Edinburgh decentralization will exist. Decentralization is often used as a buzzword with little grounding in verifiable facts. So quantifying decentralization of blockchain system requires a structured approach. I will wholeheartedly agree. Today, the University of Edinburgh and IOHK launches the research project on defining and measuring decentralization. The EDI will provide a standard of measurable decentralization for the blockchain industry. Adopting the EDI could educate government's opinion of cryptocurrencies. The EDI has many possible use cases. It could be adapted through governance as a part of a wider crypto regulatory framework, allowing users and organizers to determine a chain's decentralization with more clarity. How's the EDI designed? The index is being designed by a collaborative interdisciplinary team of researchers and developers. The team works within UOE's Blockchain Technology Laboratory, supervised by Dr. Daniel Woods, a lecturer in the cybersecurity at the UOE School of Informatics, and Professor Agalos, chief scientist at IOHK. The EDI will create a united framework capable of evaluating degrees of decentralization and it is applicable to data extracted from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and other chains. The index measures a chain's decentralization across multiple layers, including hardware, software, network, consensus mechanism, tokenomics, API, governance, validators, and geographical distribution. The research paper outlining EDI's framework can be accessed here. Let's take a look. Here is the framework here. Let's take a look at the abstract. Decentralization has been touted as the principal security advantage, which propelled blockchain systems at the forefront of developments in the financial technology space. Its exact semantics, nevertheless, remain highly contested and ambiguous, with the proponents and critics disagreeing widely on the level of decentralization offered. To address this, we put forth a systematization of the current landscape with respect to decentralization, where we derive a methodology that can help direct future research towards defining and measuring decentralization. Our approach dissects blockchain systems into multiple layers or strata, each possibly encapsulating multiple categories, and enables a unified method for measuring decentralization in each one. Our layers are hardware, software, network, consensus, economics, API, governance, and geography. Armed with this stratification, we can examine for each layer which pertinent properties of distributed layers, safety, liveliness, privacy, stability, can be at risk due to centralization and in what way. Our work highlights the challenges in measuring and achieving decentralization, points to the degree of decentralization of various systems where such assessments can be made from presently available public information, and suggests potential metrics and directions where future research is needed. We also introduced the minimum decentralization test as a way to assess decentralization state of blockchain system, and as an exemplary case, we showcase how it can be applied to Bitcoin. So this is pretty cool, guys. If you guys want to take a look at the whole paper here, I will go ahead and retweet it for you. Let's go ahead and move on. And finally, guys, real quick, we are going to be looking at the Scottsfest IO special for Cardano 360 here. I'm going to be looking at the midnight section. It's a couple minutes long, so go ahead and strap in. After this, guys, I'm going to be ending the video. Wish me luck today. I'm going to the gym and going to try to do a PR on the deadlift. I've been out of lifting for, let's say, about 5 years, and I'm gaining my strength back. So, wish me luck. I'm going to be trying to deadlift, a decent amount of weight. It's 375, nothing to really shake a stick at. It's not the strongest or nothing like that, but out of 5 years out of the game, I think we're going to be doing well. So wish me luck. I love you guys. Take care. I'll be back tomorrow with the Vechain and Cardano updates. Let's go.
So Web 2 brought us a really interesting and new set of capabilities that we never had before. We were able to collaborate, interact, and transact with people and institutions that we were not able to, in ways we were not able to before. The downside of doing that, though, was we had to give up our personal information to be able to do that. In many ways, we had to basically turn over everything about us to some entity, some place, in order to be able to operate. The downside of that is, obviously, people were collecting our data and selling it to other people. People were losing our data through security breaches, other things. People were scamming us for our personal data because it is so valuable. When we get to the Web3 world, we actually have two different kinds of solutions. We have one solution that's trustless, which basically doesn't really hide your transactions in any way, so your transactions are public. You're only masked by an address or something like that, but it's not too hard to be able to, in many cases, be able to track you back to who you actually are. Or we have complete anonymity solutions where everything is completely dark. And nobody can know anything about you, and I don't know anything about anybody else. So I'm not able to have confidence that I'm transacting business and or collaborating with people who I know or people who I trust, right? This is where Midnight comes in. So what's Midnight? Midnight allows developers to create dApps that allow users to protect their own information, to keep their information on their own systems, don't have to share it. All they do is share assertions about their personal data. Those assertions can be based on things like KYC information and others, so that the person on the other side of the transaction can have confidence that those assertions are correct. It also leverages Cardano, so it leverages things like the security and robustness of Cardano and the decentralization of Cardano, but it extends that trustless ecosystem by using zero-knowledge cryptography and confidential computation to be able to ensure that users' personal data is protected because they own it. So, what does this mean for developers? What it means is that developers can easily write dApps that don't require their users to share personal information. It allows people to maintain autonomy over their own data, so they own it and have sovereignty over it. And it allows people to connect, collaborate, and transact in a way that is confidential. Now, of course, it's sustainable because it's built for developers. There are a lot of interesting developer tools that come with it, and it depends on Cardano and gets a lot of goodness that you come to expect from Cardano. There's a basic philosophy to Midnight. We believe that these three freedoms are really essential to having a vibrant blockchain-enabled world. One is freedom of association, so you can collaborate with people based on rules that are set by the community itself. Another is freedom of commerce, exchanging value in a confidential way that is regulatory friendly. There's no backdoors in Midnight. There's nothing in the chain that says that there is the ability for some random person to just get in and understand everything that's happening. Now, what this does, and the thing that's really important about this, is it allows people on a blockchain to actually integrate with the wide world of services that are out there today. And it helps pull them toward a Web3 world. Without this, when are you going to be able to work with a bank that has to respond to regulatory pressures? When will you be able to work with an institution that is even a supply chain, for example, or an enterprise application where there is strict regulatory authority over the actions in that network. Without that, and without the freedom to have regulatory-friendly transactions on the chain, you won't be able to actually pull the rest of the world toward Web3. And the last one is freedom of expression. Now, there's some interesting portions about this. You can candidly and openly share content. Let's take the case of a whistleblower. Somebody who found something nefarious happening at a company that they work for, they will be able to publish information through their lawyer without having the fear of having retribution, right? That's a positive use case for this. A positive use case for this is a journalist who wants to publish something in a country that may not be friendly to press freedom, right? So there are other ways that you could use this, but there are a lot of things that are really necessary to allow people to express the information in an open manner without fear of that censorship, so it can't be changed. But it also may shield you from retribution. Okay, so there are a lot of advantages to Midnight. You can selectively disclose your information if you choose to. If you don't choose to, you can have complete confidentiality. It's easy to develop. Our first libraries are in TypeScript. So TypeScript would be, it's a very popular programming language. You'll be able to create smart contracts and applications with TypeScript. There's also a lot of developer tools that come with this. They're pretty interesting developer tools. It's secure. It inherits the security, et cetera, from Cardano, as I've already said. And of course, it's regulatory friendly. Because of the ability to create viewing keys, they are not backdoors. Midnight also has KYC friendly on-ramps as well.
Now,
Thank you for tuning in and watching daily Vechain and Cardano videos on Satoshi Boomin channel. I want to say a wonderful shout out to our wonderful Patreons here: Maryland for Crypto, Anthony Andrews, Faruz Den, Kyle Bachi, Crypto SVT.si, Angeltopia, DNC Vale, Leon Jackson II, Kragan, Allflare LLC, Lucky Sunshine Token, and Catherine Braun. Guys, let's keep chopping wood. Don't let your memes be dreams, and thank you so much for your wonderful Patreon support.